is Robert, or Robot Teacher. Hello, so today I would like to talk about my experience buying a car here in Korea. Basically during our vacation for Seoll날, or the Lunar New Year, Solar New Year, Lunar New Year, right? Yeah, Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year, basically the Chinese New Year. Basically during this time, right, I was like, I really want a car. And by maybe past 2-3 months, I've also been looking at getting a car. And so I had my Korean friend, actually he was looking for a rental car, because with a rental car, they take care of some of the taxes, and they do all that other stuff for you. And so I was really looking forward to getting that type of car. However, it was a little bit difficult for him to help me and find a cheap car. And for them, they were changing the regulations for foreigners renting a car, even though I've been here for almost 3.5, 4 years now. And so basically I was like, okay, fine. It's too hard to do that, so I'm gonna just go and look to buy a car, purchase a car. So I had in my heart, I was like, I'm gonna get it. And so I went to my bank here in Korea, and I asked them, I was like, okay, I want to get a car. How can I get an increasement on my credit card? Because I have a Korean credit card. And they said, oh, you need to bring us the documents showing how much the car costs. Then we can send it to the office. And it's similar in the US. And so I was just like, okay, that's too hard. So basically I had my American credit card, Korean credit card, and I went all the way to what was it, Suwon. I went all the way to Suwon, and then I was online messaging with a couple of people, a couple of Koreans that are dealing with selling cars to foreigners, and you can see on Facebook, there's a bunch of groups there. And so from there, I saw people actually, so first, before I talk about when I met the person about buying the car, I saw a lot of persons that were not related to an auto dealer selling cars, and it made me quite scared, or I was worried that oh, what if they're gonna take my money and rob me or something. And so I was just like, no. And I don't suggest doing that, but of course, if you feel comfortable and confident, then it's possible to do it that way. So for me, I decided to go to some guy that was related to a dealership. And also, this guy is also an insurance dealer, selling insurance to foreigners and to Koreans as well. And so basically I went and I found this person online. I went to Suwon by subway. And then on that same day, I came back to my home in Incheon with a car. So he went with me and was asking me what things do you want? What is ideal for you? And I told him my budget, and basically we looked, and there's some computer system that used car dealers use. And he showed me they can actually manipulate the price of the car and everything. And so he was showing me this, and he was showing me these are the cars that are suitable for your budget, and how do you think about it? And basically there was 3 car options that were suitable, and one was a bigger car. But he told me that here in Korea, if you have a car that's over 1000 cc, then you have to pay more in taxes. And so basically I decided on getting one of the smaller cars. So it was 990 cc or something like that. I'm not really sure about car terminology, but anyway, so I decided to get a Kia Morning, and I'm so happy that I got it. It is a little scary because it's the smallest car that I've actually ever driven. And so I'm happy here in Korea because as you guys probably know, if you're thinking about getting a car, the roads are really narrow here. And so having a smaller car is beneficial for going through the small alley and lanes and not accidentally hitting something. So as of now, I've been driving and I haven't gotten into any accidents. Thank you, God. Yeah. So basically, anyway, back to the story. I was there. I decided not the bigger car, to get a smaller car, and there was 2 of them, and one was it was okay, and actually it had a new serpentine belt, so that was nice. And the other one was also good. They had some problems on it, and so but the other one was a little bit newer, and so I decided to go for that one. And so the guy checked the brakes and looked around the car, and he was like, "Okay, I suggest you can use this one and try it out." So I test drove it only within the parking lot of the dealership because it didn't have any insurance on it, so I shouldn't like leave the lot. And so actually I've already had my license. I got my driver's license from scratch here in Korea, with an automatic car. And so I actually would like to go back and study for like stick shift or manual driving car, but that's costs more money as well. So anyway, back to the story at hand. And so basically I test drove the car out. I noticed that it had some alignment issues, and when we started up, it makes some squeaking noise. And I think the guy told a little bit of like a fib or something to me about it, but anyway, it's okay. I still decided it was better to get the car, and thank God I did because it was before this Corona thing broke out here in Korea, and so I've been driving everywhere, not taking public transportation, and I actually felt a little bit bad because of the country has a lot of, what is it, like carbon emission, and I didn't want to like make my carbon footprint bigger in Korea by using a car, but am doing that right now. But it's better in some ways. So basically, I ended up deciding to get the car. It was maybe like 2.5, and he tried to talk to owner of the car down. In the US, I feel like I personally can't judge, or I couldn't say anything if he did something right or wrong because I can't speak the language, and thus I have to deal with this type of situation. And so for me, I saw him calling the person, and they talked about like the price, and he said basically like, "Oh, I can't take the dealer or the owner of the car said I couldn't bring the price down more." And so I was like, "Okay, fine." The car has some problems. When I bought it, and I was aware of those problems. Um, but in the US, I feel like when you get a car, like a used car, they try to like make it nice and clean for you. And here I didn't really feel that way, especially at this dealer. I don't know if there's another dealer that does different things like in the US. Like the car was still like dirty. The ceiling of the roof of the car was dirty, and it still is dirty. I need to find a way to like scrub it. The seats were dirty. The window, like not window, the windshield, it has like some grimy substance. I don't know what's wrong with the windshield, but I had to get some like, I don't know, wet tissue or some specific tissue to clean the windshield off. And there's an inside, not the outside part. So things like that I was really surprised about. But anyway, I really wanted a car. So I was like, okay, I keep going back and forth about this. And I was just like, fine, just you buy the car. So basically, I just got my 2 credit cards, and I was like, just swipe it. And so basically, I gave my credit cards, and they charged my US credit card and my Korean credit card, and I was able to pay and got the car. But then also, because I can't leave without insurance, so he had to sign me up for insurance as well. And so because I was a first-time driver, insurance was like $400 or more. But thankfully, I had insurance back in the U.S. It wasn't actually current insurance. Like I've been in Korea for like 4 years, so I haven't been driving in the U.S. But I was able to get all of the documentation from Geico, which is a U.S. Insurance company, and I was able to give it to them. And actually, they like brought it down almost like $200. And so I got a refund of my money. So that was really nice. And I'm happy that this guy helped me to figure this all out. So overall, my suggestion for people thinking about getting a car is definitely go for it. Depending on your confidence level, I feel like I drove in the US for quite a long time, and so I feel confident driving here in Korea, but it is quite scary if you don't know the language and if you get into an accident. And I don't even know if I get an accident, what will I do? So basically here in Korea, like I'm really careful when I'm driving, because if you get an accident, you have to like call the police. Hopefully the police speak English. Maybe you're gonna have some like old Adachi or Ajima coming out like shouting at you in Korean, and so it would be a really difficult situation. But I personally am very like, I'm not good in Korean, but I'll try my best. And if I have black boxes in my car, so if it's my fault, it's my fault, and I should do something about it and cover the cost. But if it is my fault, I'm gonna be sure to get that footage of the black box cam. Next, I would say overall, if you feel ready to get a car, definitely I would suggest getting the car. Just go for it. It opens up another world of Korea. I saw things that I can't see just going and taking the subway. Usually when I go to Seoul like every weekend, and I take the bus. And I usually just take a nap in the bus, but now I'm driving, and so I can't take a nap, but I get to see the Han River, or I get to see the buildings, and it's just so beautiful. And so I'm so grateful for, and being able to just drive to where I want and don't worry about like missing the bus or the timing of the bus. I can just leave and then go and whenever I want to is really nice. Except for traffic. I do have to care about that, because sometimes if you leave at a specific hour, like rush hour time, and just like in the US, you're gonna have a lot of traffic. So it is really, overall, I would say my suggestion is getting a car. Do your research about the car in advance. Going to someone that can set up your insurance for you. Also purchasing a car. Also look out for, there's like a finder fee. And I think it's standard because I looked online and I saw other people doing it. But if you have a Korean friend that can find the car for you, I think that's better. And then you don't have to worry about like, I had to pay an extra $200 to the person, and it wasn't like something I could charge on my credit card. I had to pay it out of my own pocket, because not out of my own pocket, but I mean like I had to use my like money that I had available to pay for it, because it couldn't be charged, because it was like his personal fee. And so I felt like, okay, I can understand, it's normal. But I don't know, when I told my Korean friend, they were like, finder fee, that's weird. And so definitely, if you're doing it by yourself like I did, expect for these specific things to happen, and be like skeptical, of course. But my reason was I really wanted a car, and so I just like did it. I didn't care. Like if I had to pay extra, it's my fault. It's my decision. I really want a car. I want to be able to drive, and I'm happy. I'm happy about it. It's different. It's a different experience, different like different part of my life. And so I'm really grateful. So if you had any questions, please comment down below, and then I'll be sure to answer. This is something that I didn't see online much about, like a foreigner's perspective on how to get a car. And so I just wanted to make this video so I can share how I did it. And later, maybe if you guys wanted, I can share like the place I went to get my driver's license. And it was really nice. We can talk about that more. So thank you. Okay, bye-bye.